Hi, thanks for tuning into High on Horror. I'm Drew.
And I'm John. This episode and every future episode is dedicated to the horror hounds and smokers out there who want to expand their knowledge of the genre and have a good time.
Today we're reviewing The Leech, which is a Christmas horror of sorts that is now streaming on Arrow Video's Arrow Player. This is basically about a priest having to deal with squatters, and it's worth a watch, and we're going to tell you why, and get high. Today on High on Horror. Interviews, reviews, and the latest news all rolled into one. Alright, dude, so, yeah, you know how we start these episodes. You listeners know how we start these episodes. John's over there hitting it right now. What are we smoking today, bro? You got the bong fucking packed.
I threw a little bit of, I saved up some Grady Apple.
Oh. Oh, you Keith from Sutherland it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Keith from Righteous Gemstones. Oh, my God. Anyway, Chernobyl is what we're smoking this week.
It's called Chernobyl?
Yeah, Chernobyl.
It's called Chernobyl?
It's a hybrid. Wow. It crossed actually with 3 strains. Trainwreck, which I know you're a fan of.
Yeah, I love Trainwreck.
Jack the Ripper and Trinity. Like the Trinity Killer from Dexter.
Damn, that shit packs a punch.
I'm sure that Keith... I'm sure that'd be happening. It's happening. Anyway, this strain produces dreamy effects that are long-lasting and may boost your mood. Chernobyl smells like lime sherbet. I wonder if that's what it smelled like to the people when it was burning down. Medical marijuana patients choose this strain to help relieve symptoms associated with depression and anxiety.
And that every weed?
Yeah, apparently. I mean, I'll smoke them all.
Line them up, we'll knock them down.
Your feelings, energetic, uplifted, and creative. Negatives, dry eyes, dry mouth, and paranoid. And 38% of people report this helping with stress.
Okay. Well.
Okay.
I'm not really having any stress issues, so just gonna mellow me the fuck out, I guess. But yeah, so The Leech, John. Let's talk about it.
It's billed as a 2022 American black comedy Christmas
movie of sorts.
It's labeled as a horror.
Like Christmas happens during the movie and there's a Christmas tree present, but I don't know if I would consider this to actually be like a Christmas movie.
I would say in terms of movies that we've done that might be, I don't want to say stretching it, but maybe ones that you could make an argument aren't a horror movie. Maybe Doctor Strange is the only other one we've covered that.
Yeah.
Like I can understand people not thinking it's a horror movie. Like it's
more of a
little
dark
bit
comedy kind of, yeah.
It's definitely a dark comedy, but Father David, played by Graham Skipper, who funny enough, he'll be in a movie we actually review next week.
Yeah.
He's in Dementia Part 2, Sequence Break. And he's a Catholic priest. My God. I tell you, these fucking weeds are fucking getting us, man.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, fair enough. I won't speak for you. Anyway, Father David's a Catholic priest. He's struggling to grow his congregation. Like, when we start, there's 4 people?
That's it. I think there's 4. Oh, I'm
probably exaggerating.
In the congregation, there's 5 people. I counted. It's 5. There's 4 off to one, 3 off to one side, and 2 off to the other. But then 6 if you count the dude chilling on the bench who becomes a main player.
Yeah. So things aren't going good for the size of his church, and he encounters a stranger by the name of Terry, played by Jeremy Gardner. From Bliss and Off Season.
Yeah, he was the dude chilling on the bench, so you don't really count him at first. Yeah, he's sleeping on the bench.
He's just sleeping after Mass.
Bull sleeping.
Terry doesn't have a home, and after a fight with his girlfriend Lexi, played by Taylor Gardner from Sadistic Intentions, and with Christmas less than a week away, David offers him a place to stay for the night. What begins as a simple act of kindness quickly turns complicated as Lexi arrives shortly after with the news of being evicted from her house. And unable to turn away this helpless young woman, David allows both her and Terry to stay with him. And through the holidays, on the condition that they open themselves to the healing powers of God and his love. Yet the harder David tries to reform the lives of these seemingly innocent strangers, the more he himself falls victim to their toxic ways, leading him to the belief that their arrival is a test from God. Will David pass the test and accept his new house guests as they are, or will he set aside the ways of Christ and resort to the blood-soaked Old Testament justice? Which we do get some. Terry's a big fan of the Old Testament. He's like, man, there's some hardcore shit in here, and he was like, David's like, no, like, Jesus came along, so we follow the New Testament now, and we don't really follow the Old Testament. He's like, yeah, but the Old Testament's more badass.
No, man, Terry's one. Yeah, this is an example.
He's a dick.
Yeah, Terry's a dick. This is an example of kindness being taken as a weakness, and it's like, Father David takes Terry in, and Terry just right away takes full advantage. Like, he's blasting metal music, he's fucking smoking cigarettes in the house, and just right away he's that guest that I would want to remove immediately. I would have never have invited him in my house. But then like you said, he invites his Lexi over, his pregnant girlfriend, who he even admits to Father David that he was trying to sneak in. He just kind of literally just kind of takes over. It's like about squatters in a way, kind of like taking over and putting out the owner of the house, making David uncomfortable in his own house, and so he has to strike back. And let me tell you, man, it's not on no speak no evil levels, but Terry and Lexi were getting on my motherfucking nerves.
The funny thing is, like, you see the scene and you're like, oh, they're being nice. But then the more you think about the breakfast scene, he wakes up and there's like a huge breakfast made. And, and Lexi cooked for him. And
you brought up the point.
And then I'm like, but like, if I'm David, I'm like, that's my food. Like, thanks for cooking it, like helping yourself, and like you made like a nice meal. You did
a favor for me, but you could use my own food.
Yeah, like
made a fucking feast, made everything, made the sausage, made the eggs, and made then the bacon.
Terry, how's Terry pass over the sausage?
Oh yeah, he his hands and puts bacon on Father David's plate with his bare hands, just picking it off the plate. Just ugh.
And like the shit they do, like the one you didn't catch it, but I was fucking dying. Is when they're in the truck and he was like, I'm celibate.
Yeah,
he's asking David about having sex. He was like, when you're like fucking a woman, and he was like, I'm celibate. He goes, oh, you have both parts? Oh, that's cool.
I didn't know what celibate meant. Yeah, no, I mean, I hated Terry. But basically,
they make him start drinking.
That's what I was gonna say. It starts off with him David trying to do good for them, and really they bring him down to their level, and that's kind of when he has a breaking point. But it is funny seeing David get a little tipsy and shit, but he definitely does some shit he'd regret. Am I right?
Yeah. I mean, if you ever played a game, I mean, I guess this might be spoiler alert, the Never Have I Ever game.
Yeah,
I'll save that. But he's trying to help him, and like he just buys into like Terry's bullying. Because the first time he tries to get him to drink, he was just like, Lexi's like, you just have to say yes because he's not going to stop. And then that's just how David handles it. Like, he just lets Terry bully him into everything.
Yeah.
Because he was like the whole point was they were allowed to come.
Bully, just kind of in a way, just kind of like manipulate his way into shit. The way that people who like, honestly, I don't mean to I know I sound horrible, but like those who don't have a lot, homeless people in a way, or even people like that, just some people who are users, they know their way how to just kind of like impose on people and like make people just like cater to them. And I guess now I'm giving this dude a ride. How many times have you? I can't tell you how many times somehow I've ended up giving somebody a fucking ride. I don't know how. Because they just know how to impose on you in that way, and you end up going, why the fuck they tricked me? I fucking doing things I didn't want to do.
And like David, the whole point of them coming to stay was that they would have to learn more about God and live the way David wants them to live if they stay with him. And then like to get him to drink, he's like, oh, like I did your whole read the Bible thing, and we prayed, we did all this, so like, why don't you do me a favor and you do this?
Yeah.
And then they just get him to drink.
Basically Just become a shithead, be like us, you know?
Well, damn, like us. I don't think we're near as bad as Terry.
No. I meant, like, speaking from Terry's point of view, he's telling Father David, like, become a shithead like he and Lexi.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I was gonna say, I don't think we're as bad.
No, I'm not. I mean, I guess you'd be Lexi, though.
Damn, why I gotta be Lexi? I don't like how this is going. But, like, and then, like, David just, he just lets them do whatever in that house.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's, he, like I said, kindness for weakness.
He just, like, lets them smoke. Oh, dude, the one that was funny is when he makes...
Well, he tells them not to. They just do whatever they want. He stops telling them. He just gives up.
Oh, dude, the one it made me laugh is when, like, David has, like, had enough, and he kind of, like, starts, like, trying to, like, put his foot down.
Yeah.
And he makes Terry throw out the fucking Coke in the sink, and he sprays it. You see it, like, around there, and he sprays it, and he's like, it's gone, man, it's gone, okay?
Yeah, I think, do I think that this is a good holiday movie? I don't know if I'd say it's a good holiday movie. I'd say it's a good dark comedy. If you're looking for a dark comedy to watch this Christmas season,
it is
then
definitely set around Christmas.
Yeah, I would say if you're looking for like something kind of funny to watch around Christmas, then this would qualify. I wouldn't qualify it as a Christmas movie. It's not something I'm going to break out every Christmas and rewatch. But I enjoyed it. I definitely, I'd 7 out of 10 for me.
See, I feel like 7 saying it's low, but I don't know if it's a full 7. Like,
yeah, I understand.
I enjoy it. Like, I laughed, but I would say
for a movie that takes place in one house with 4 characters total, 3 really, but one of them, Ringo's kind of going in and out of the place. I mean,
he's more of a reoccurring character in a movie. If there's such a term. Compared to, I can't remember the main, Graham Skipper's movie we're going to review next week.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't laugh as much at this movie as I did that one next week.
Same.
So I'm like,
Right. I see what you're saying. Okay.
I give it like a
6.8.
6.8.
I was going to say, I'm lowering my score from a 7 to 6.75. All right, there we go. 6.75 and a 6.8.
Technical as fuck. Yeah. You divided it into 3/4 scores for each number.
You got to make sure that everything falls into place, man.
But yeah, I definitely liked his other movie we're doing next week way more than this. But it's not a bad movie. And I mean, I feel like you kind of started it, but we'll wrap up our non-spoiler stuff here.
My fault.
No, you're fine. I was pretty much done with what I wanted to say, but yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said, but it's just also marketed as a horror movie, and I'll accept the argument, but it takes a lot to get there.
And not a lot of gore.
No.
Not really a lot of gore, not really a lot of violence either, more just a lot of just dialogue and people just pushing
It's more
buttons.
psychological, but
yes.
As psychological as you can get for like a comedy.
Yeah.
For like a black comedy.
For a black comedy about a priest and 2 hobos. Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess here we'll just move on to the spoilers. So if you don't want to hear any, just go on and go to your nearest Circuit City.
Circuit City, all right.
Welcome to Circuit City, where service is state of the art.
All right, well, we're back with spoilers, and the one I saved until now was, I wonder how many games of Never Have I Ever turned into a threesome.
Oh, man. And it's not a good threesome either. Luckily, we don't actually see it. That's not a threesome I would have wanted to witness.
Oh, man. And then later when they're arguing about the fucking baby, and he was like, it could be yours. Like,
yeah, he said we'd be, yeah.
And he's like, no.
What's the term that he uses? We both shot off in her? Yeah, man. Yeah, so basically, so long story short, after some Never Have I Ever, and David throws a remark at him. Remember, they're doing Never Have I Ever. They're trying to hit him with a lot of priest ones to get him to drink, and he throws out a Never Have I Ever Been Homeless to get them to drink. Up. But then, they end up seducing him into a threesome, and like I said, luckily
he doesn't.
We don't see it.
Obviously, you're in the spoilers, so either you're going to find out or you already know. Like, He doesn't find out right away either.
No, and he also finds out that
I think he said blasted off in there.
blasted off. Yeah, and also we know that Jeremy had a turn with him because he says, that they Terry breaks the news to him that they also had sex. So
Yeah.
it was just everybody kind of taking turns with everybody.
Yeah, then when they're talking about the baby and David finally starts losing it, that was the one that really made me laugh out loud probably the most. This one is when he's like, you're a selfish bitch, because they're trying to say that he could be the father, but she's been pregnant for a while. David already knew she was pregnant,
right? Since
and he
before
was
she
like,
was
you
staying
guys
at
are
his
trying to
house.
con me out of money. Like he's finally had it.
Yeah.
He was like, he's like, you're a lying bitch, and then fucking Terry goes, hey, he's like, you don't call my whore a bitch.
Yeah, that's just Terry's just a terrible person. But I don't know, man.
Yeah, dude. And then I guess this is kind of when it finally, I guess, gets dark. Like, really.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's already, but it gets much darker here.
Yeah, Father David basically snaps after realizing that he's sunk to their low, right? So he basically just puts Terry and Lexi in their place, and he's like, from now on, you're basically going to do what I want, when I want. No smoking, no drinking, no drugs, no music. And he basically turns them into his congregation and makes it so it's like they're his personal mission now to like save. And he ends up, Father David starts losing his shit. He starts drinking more, becoming more angry. And Terry and Lexi, are kind of, forced? How do you want to put?
I would say needling him.
Force into going into like reading the Bible and kind of like following the Lord's word and all that.
Yeah, and that's when Terry gets really into the Old Testament.
Yeah.
Because they talk about, was it like stomping pregnant women?
Yeah, something brutal like that.
Yeah, it was like stomping pregnant women and like killing children. He was like, oh man, the Old Testament's badass.
Yeah, it's fucking horrible.
But yeah, then eventually David goes too far. He gets the shit beat out of him by Terry.
Yeah.
Then he goes to the hospital. He gets wrapped up, and like I said, he looks like Darkman.
Yeah, it's a sloppy rap job for sure.
Like between Darkman and like a rejected Ninja Turtle. It's like just kind of got but then he goes to mass.
Yeah, he still shows up at midnight mass.
Shows up at mass for the like 3 people.
Yeah, no, was there even anybody in the? I didn't see anybody at midnight mass. Unless I was completely baked. I think it was just empty aisles, empty rows. Rapper. Oh, okay.
You remember?
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, I'm messing that up. That's after.
No. That's after at the house. After he leaves there. That's at the house, yeah.
Because he thinks it's Terry.
Yeah.
It's another great Terry line. When he comes in and he's like, what did you do? He goes, oh, he dead as fuck. But Terry had beat the shit out of
David. Oh, Lexi.
I don't know why I could have
shit out of Lexi because Lexi wanted to leave his ass, and David sees it.
Everybody's fucked up at this house.
Yeah, everybody's beating the shit out of everybody at this point.
And then he puts like medication into their tea.
Yeah, he drugs them.
And I told you, I feel like that was a lot into one. Like, that should be chalky.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, what the fuck?
I agree, especially because I don't like tea anyway.
Family recipe.
Yeah, family recipe, my ass. I don't drink tea anyway, really.
And then, you think he's hallucinating at that baby?
It's possible. Yeah.
Or it's,
I don't know.
He just knows that both of those men would ruin that child.
Yeah, I think that,
he points the gun at Lexi at first.
Yeah, but then, like, the baby kind of speaks to him and kind of says, like, my life for your own, and he realizes he's a piece of shit, he's turned into a piece of shit, and Terry was a piece of shit, so at first, he starts off kind of trying to Amityville, right? Go room to room with the shotgun, and then he ends up just, pulls the trigger on himself, and then we see Lexi kind of leave the house.
Well, you see him shoot Terry.
Yeah.
You don't see it, but you see enough to see shooting Terry. And then there's the suspense of who's coming down the steps. Yeah,
because you hear a second shot after you know that Terry's been shot.
And that's kind of how I thought it was going to play out.
Yeah.
And it did. But
I'm happy with Father David dying. He was a piece of shit by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Terry should have got it long before.
Maybe he just shouldn't have taken in homeless people. Is that the moral of the story? Don't help the homeless.
Yeah, I don't think that's
a terrible message.
That is a
to put
terrible
out there.
message. No, I think the moral of the story is don't let your kindness be taken as weakness. And Jeremy wasn't the type of person you want to help. You should have known right away the type of person he was.
I mean, he's funny to us because we don't have to live with him.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I could find Jeremy funny. Like, I don't have to live with him.
What about my wife when we were watching this? How Sam was like crawling at her skin watching everything he did. She just go ugh. And you laughed a couple of times.
You told her. I feel like you want to be best friends with Terry.
She said, I'd be snapping on him. Yeah, he would definitely evoke fighting. And I think that's the thing. He's such a confrontational character. So to put him with someone like Father David, who is like trying to not be confrontational, be peaceful, was a funny combination, but it leaves you pissed off. Like I said, I'm going to reference Speak No Evil again. Like I wanted to like reach through the fucking TV and smack the dude across the face myself,
But yeah, I feel like it's definitely way more on the comedy than the horror.
Yeah, for sure. It's more dark comedy than anything.
I guess the closest. I think you understand. I'm making a very loose comparison, just in framing of the story. Shining, I guess, would be the closest kind of like storytelling.
Kind of, yeah.
It's slow,
Yeah.
but I mean, even that had more heart to it. It just feels like. I even told you when we were watching, I'm like, okay, like this movie's funny and I'm enjoying it, but like, when's the horror coming?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when's the horror coming?
And it's just that slow. I guess you could make the same argument that I guess now I see the argument people make against Out of the Lighthouse of it not being a horror movie.
Yeah,
it's kind of because some people argue it's a comedy.
But there's enough horror in it with monsters. At least there's monsters in
That's
that movie.
true.
Put it that way.
Yeah, you have the merpussy and stuff.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
But see, this you could argue white mermaid, black mermaid. That's how a mermaid should look.
Yeah.
Just scaly and green.
I agree.
But yeah, I feel like we said enough about this already.
Yeah, I feel like
the
we've discussed it. So
this was just really the stuff I wanted to talk about. And spoilers, but yeah, I just
what you
wish,
missed in the spoilers what you got in the spoilers that you didn't get in the non-spoilers was that Father David got fucked in the ass with a dodo.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
what you get in the spoiler section here.
Yeah, you find out Father David does a lot of stuff and doesn't remember it.
Yeah.
Dude, still, like I said, Terry, when I think of Terry, I laugh, but if I was Father David, I would not find it humorous at all.
Not at all. But yeah, I'm good here.
Yeah, so I guess thanks to all the horror hounds and smokers out there for tuning in. Like I said, next week we got another Spencer Graham. I think that's right. We're so high.
Graham Skipper.
Graham Skipper. Holy
Spencer
shit.
Graham.
Who the fuck is Spencer Graham? Anyway, we are going to do Scare Package 2, Rad Chad's Revenge.
Good job, you got it.
Yeah, that is a hell of a title to a movie. I feel like it's very much done on purpose, but so we'll be reviewing that next week.
Starring Graham Skipper, not Spencer Graham.
Yeah. But I feel like as soon as we're done recording, I'm definitely Googling Spencer Graham because I feel like that's a person. Watch it actually not be anybody.
Somebody from like your Pornhub history.
Pornhub. You got those Spencer Graham vids?
You got that OnlyFans. Anyway, rambling, dude.
We're rambling. But you brought up OnlyFans, and I just want to bring this up. Obviously this will date when we recorded it. I watched the Tyson Fury fight today.
Okay.
His opponent on his robe was sponsored by OnlyFans.
No shit.
I was fucking dying. I'm like, they're fucking sponsoring boxers.
I'd be
now?
sponsored by OnlyFans. I'd take a sponsor.
It had the OF on the one side and then OnlyFans on the other
Do
side.
you get like free subscriptions and shit?
Let me get 5 of them subscriptions, and you can be on my robe.
I don't get paid in commissions. I get paid in subscriptions.
Oh, that sounds like a good t-shirt idea. Anyway, so Scare Package 2, Rad Chad's Revenge, we're reviewing next week. And make sure to follow us online at High on Horror 420 at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Send us your Puff Ass questions at highonhorror420 at gmail.com because we're going to have some more interviews coming up for you soon. And check out our website, highonhorror.com. And I guess that'll about wrap her up. Catch you later.
Bye, everybody.